Well, Virgo, for you more than any of the other signs, this month is particularly pertinent due to the new moon eclipse taking place on the 1st in your sun sign, along with Mercury, your ruling planet, moving retrograde, and Jupiter, the planet ruling your 7th house of relationships, jam-packed into your sun sign of Virgo. So we know a lot's happening with you as a person. Your personal energies are particularly triggered by this, and the new moon especially shows your desire to shift direction. If not shift direction, to approach the things you're doing on this path of yours in a much different manner. Now, can that happen? It can happen, but with your ruling planet retrograde, it indicates that you've got a lot of work to do in terms of going back over old ground, understanding how you may have put a foot wrong and putting that foot back in the right direction. The sun sign of Virgo, which we see this new moon eclipse on the 1st, then on the 17th, the full moon, which takes place in your zone of marriage and relationships, is also very, very significant. So having Neptune there, we've talked about that planet, can show your idealism right now. And the problem you have with this idealistic planet in your marital and relationship sector is that your partner may be falling short of your ideal of perfection. Now, you know as well as any astrologer that Virgo is prone to this concept of perfection. Firstly, you've got the new moon highlighting this fact in yourself. It's not just perfection you demand from others, but it's the perfection you demand from yourself that makes it hard for you sometimes to be, to give yourself credit. And you do need to give yourself credit. You've got some lovely aspects this month. You've got some great wins behind you, notwithstanding the fact that you haven't been particularly happy, as evidenced by the passing conjunction of Mars and Saturn, the 4th house, which relates to your inner happiness and sense of peace. That's been building up till last week, which saw the end of the conjunction with the Italian earthquake, and I had alluded to that. But earthquakes are not always an outside thing. I think many born under the sign of Virgo have been experiencing emotional earthquakes, domestic earthquakes. And what comes to mind right now is the tarot card, the Tower, which is struck by lightning. And so, not all of you, but for some of you, there are certainly some challenges there in the domestic sphere. Along with that new moon eclipse, Virgo, we see that it is forming a very hard square to Saturn and Mars, and the opposite side of the heavens, Neptune, is in square. This is called a T-square. And the point of focus is there in your domestic sphere. And if there's stuff there that's pissing you off, excuse the French, you need to just deal with it. And I think that's what's going on with the retrogression of Mercury, your ruler. When the planet goes retrograde, it empowers it. Retrograde planets are much more powerful. And when they happen to rule good houses, in your case, the sun sign, and the 10th house, which is Gemini, which is your professional life, then there's an enhancement of those activities. But of course, the retrogression shows you may not yet be poised to act upon what it is you want to. And doing so would be in haste, and of course, haste makes waste. So after the 22nd is your time. Prior to that, you do have some good news with the conjunction of Mercury to Jupiter taking place on the 3rd, straight after that new moon. So I suspect that many of you will have a very strong sense about what it is you have to do and how you need to go about that, notwithstanding that frustrating energy of Mars and Saturn in your 4th house. The full moon in your 7th house near Neptune brings your ideals to the fore after the 17th. So that is where a lot of focus emotionally is going to be with your partner. That is, if you happen to be with a partner. If not, then this can sometimes relate to the way you deal with the public generally, people, others. And that also shows you'll have a better sense and a better feeling with them now than you have recently, and it's just such a nice experience you're going to have, feeling that Mars tension with Saturn just falling away, peeling away, so to speak. So the latter part of the month is far better for you. You've got the Venus in the second house, and that's good for your finances as well. A good opportunity to earn money, and you can be very, very clever, and just also basically not just earn money, but to enjoy the way you make your money. That's also shown by your 10th house ruler Mercury in conjunction with Jupiter, bringing new opportunities, new communications, possibly even new job prospects for some of you. I was going to touch on something else there. I think that's right. I was going to talk about this Venus being in your second house, and then also the fact that it moves into your third house of travels. So there could be some, maybe not long distance travels, but Venus is moving very, very quickly, and around the 24th moves to the sign of Scorpio, friendly sign, and also a sign of contracts, which, as we said, after the 17th, when your ruler goes direct, there's an opportunity for you to solidify any sort of negotiations that you've had. It's also great for dancing, singing, pleasure, amusements, and celebrations too. The third house, having Venus there, is very pleasant indeed, and a nice way to sort of round off the month of September. I hope you'll join me again next month. I'd like to sort of leave you by suggesting you visit my site. I always mention that, astrology.com.au. I'm Dadhichi. Look forward to your company next month. Bye-bye.